Hello, welcome a reoccurring viewer and new people to this channel. My name is DaLuckyGoat, and this is a little different than the things I usually do on this channel. I just feel like a lot of people are joining on the hate bandwagon for this show without like adding any of their own little commentary or anything on it. So I just wanted to get into it and give my take on what I feel like the finale should have been, and then I'm gonna have a little rant for the little Snyder goblins, Or I just, I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot. But just letting you guys know, it's a people's channel. I don't have a PC. Okay, so this is what we're gonna have to do. This is gonna have to be thoughts over Batman gameplay. It has to be over gameplay. I'm sorry, I don't have a PC. There's not gonna be clips of the show. There's not gonna be clips of the YouTubers that I mentioned. Um, but with that, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys make it to the end, and thanks for watching. Okay, so let's get right into the Peacemaker season 2 finale rewrite. Just for disclaimers out there, I'm not no director. I'm obviously didn't go to directing school. I'm just a regular dude, regular YouTuber who just wants to share his thoughts on the episode and give some input on it. Spoiler warning for the season 2 finale Peacemaker, obviously. So I think the episode should start exactly how it kind of did, with the flashback of the boat, but I think we should follow through with the whole night of the boat instead, like of the flashback, instead of it being in two parts. To me, it just doesn't have any, it doesn't have a good flow to it. It's a little weird. But just starting from from the beginning, I feel like the the scene of the dude hitting on hardcore, to me, I have to just bring it up because I feel like it's super unrealistic, and I know you can't use the word realistic with superhero content, like, you know, too much, but it's just, I don't get how he sees Chris, walks out with hardcore, thinks, damn, that dude's lady's nice. Let me say she has a fat ass, and then when she calls him out on it, and then Chris steps up, he's, oh, please, please don't hurt me, please, just forget it. As like, he obviously just seen him come out, so I just don't get, to me it's just dumb. Just bringing it up real quick, I just don't feel like that happened. Obviously if he saw him and he was that scared of him, he wouldn't have said some shit like that, but continuing on, I feel like the flashback should have just been one singular flashback to open up the episode, kind of give us a little slow burn, you know because I feel like that night's definitely important for sure, but because a lot of people thought they just got drunk and hooked up, right? That's what I thought. I mean, and just to find out that they only kissed, they only shared a kiss is, I mean, it definitely like threw me for a loop, when I first watched it. It's been about a week. Honestly, I let time, time pass. I watched the episode again just now, so I'm not like, I don't know, I gave it time to actually like set in. Sorry guys, I have everything written down, so I'm also reading my thoughts, so just bear with me just a little bit. Like I said, this isn't the usual content I make. After the I think they should play, okay, so after they, she walks off after the kiss, they should play the intro. And I think the intro is where they should have done something a little different. Like, probably show more just the main crew, and then do something kind of like show like the people leaving Rick Flag Sr. in the intro. Just like you know how okay, so you know how Chris and Hardcore are dancing with each other? They're all close and romantic in the intro, and then they get dragged away from each other. I think it should have been Judo Master, Bordeaux, and then Flurry, like with Rick Flag, and then show them like get pulled away like that, and then have Foxy Shazam in the intro singing the intro instead of them going back to the boat. I just feel like it's so weird. A lot of people have that complaint with the episode where it just felt like a concert. It was so much of the music, basically a Foxy Shazam concert. That was the big cameo of the episode. So after following the intro, I think we should continue with Flurry telling the story about Cupid and Cupid. I can't remember his name for some reason. It's messing with me. The story about him at the strip club, and then showing them go through the doors and his death, and then you know, questioning Bordeaux about the intentions. I don't think we need her like staring at Rick Flag. I'll get there eventually. I just feel like her switch up is a little too fast in the show. Like it's, yeah, we'll get there. And then after that, we'll continue with the Economos and Hardcore looking for Eagly scene, which they say Peacemaker's not accepting visitors right now. And then we'll just completely cut out the Angel death scene. I just feel like that scene comes off too much, like too much of a joke. It's a little goofy. I know the show can be goofy at times. I just feel like it's unnecessary right now. I think then we should continue to the ads and Vig's conversation about using the money for good. You know, bailing out Peacemaker essentially. And then we get ads going to bail him out. And I think we should show her meeting the place for checkmate right there. I think that'd be a good like little tie-in, you know. And then going from there, the episode shows Peacemaker go to the house, tells Economos I'm gonna get my stuff, and it goes straight to Economos saying, yeah, let him go, you know. I think we should change that. I think for our version we should change it to Peacemaker showing up to grab his stuff, but this time instead of just Economos, it's Economos and Vigilante. Peacemaker tells Vigilante off, saying, you know, how could he be partners with someone who killed his dad? Basically, you know, telling him he doesn't want to be partners with him anymore. It's, you know, but I don't want it to be like Peacemaker being a genuine ass. I kind of want it to be like he still feels like people around him gets killed because of him, and if people around him gets killed because of him, and that he wants, you know, to keep his friends safe, you know. So after Vigilante kind of runs off or something, we can kind of get him saying, you know, sorry Vig, something like that, you know, something cool. Sorry best buddy, something like that, you know. And then I think after this we should get a scene where Economos actually stands up and gets in Peacemaker's face, you know, because I feel like one of Economos' arc this season was like him being brave, you know, him getting more brave and being more courageous. So I feel like he should stand in front of his way, calling Peacemaker out for being an asshole, saying he's gonna like it whether he likes it or not. He's definitely gonna wait for the team, you know. And then let's get him actually throw a punch at Peacemaker, but obviously Peacemaker's Peacemaker, so he's skilled. So let's have him, you know, catch his punch, maybe dislocate his wrist a little, something light, you know. But let's have him look at Economos and be kind of proud of him for doing something like that, because I feel like, I mean, we saw him take out the Eagle dude and he was like real hesitant about it, the Eagle Hunter, but you know, seeing him actually throw a punch, I feel like, dang, like there we go, Economos, you're doing something now, you know. Like you're actually standing up for yourself. I feel like it would have been nice to see. After this is the only thing I would change, like at that point though. I think after this the episode should run the same route with the door montage, with them going through the doors, you know, and Rick Flag suggesting the prison planet. But one crucial scene I think should be changed though is also when Bordeaux and Hardcore meet in the restaurant. I think it's way too early for Bordeaux. I feel like I'm messing up her name. Shouldn't have looked up her name, but Bordeaux. You know, the android girl who's with Rick Flag. I feel like it's way too early for her to just be putting herself out there, like meeting her in public and stuff like that. Just giving her like the information and everything that she wants. I just feel like, you know, she goes from being, damn, Rick Flag, you're so sexy for abusing Peacemaker, to, dang, I don't agree with Rick Flag for abusing Peacemaker in like a couple of episodes, and it's so weird to me, like how fast she switches up. I just feel like I don't know. To me, it's like it happens in a couple of days, without any interaction with Peacemaker's friends or Peacemaker himself. Like it's just to me, it's just completely out of the blue when she was damn near like glazing Rick Flag for being that way. So. Uh, But I think we could change it a little bit to where it can make sense a little bit more if we have Flurry, the one who goes and meets Hardcore, and kind of tells her that like we don't really agree with his actions. Sorry guys, we don't really agree with his actions. Um, we want to separate from him. I heard you guys want to find your friend. I have someone higher up than me who also wants to join your team. You have openings. As a peace offering, here's Peacemaker's last location, because they don't have his location. They get his location later on. So let's be this the scene where they get his location, Make it so like they couldn't have found Peacemaker this whole time. Because it's just, honestly, my personal opinion, I really don't like the scene where they find Peacemaker and Vigilante just comes out and tases him. Like, I just feel like Vigilante has like no kind of character progression at all this season, and no really time at all. I don't know. I mean, we're focusing on all the characters, right? So it should be a little bit for something for all the characters, not just Hardcore and Adebayo, I guess. Even Economos, like I said, is lackluster. Anyway, the scene would end with Flurry giving them the location, and let's have Hardcore give it to Adebayo, kind of saying that, kind of giving it to him, saying like, go ahead and go get him, you're the one who can talk to him, and Adebayo saying, no, fuck that, let's all go talk to him, like, we're a team, if we all care about him, let's go, like, you should stop avoiding your feelings, about whatever this night was, and just face up to it. Obviously he cares about you, and you care about him some, at least to an extent, so get your shit together. We'll have her kind of like storm off, maybe get a little teary-eyed. And then, actually, let's have her just storm off to the bathroom, and then that's when she'll find the boat ticket, and get teary-eyed or something. And then we don't have to have the flashback because we already have the whole flashback. We could just have her come out the bathroom and say, alright, come on, let's go get our guy. I just feel like I don't know. To me, I feel like it would feel better, would work a little better. Okay, so after that, I feel like, look, now I like Adebayo. Like, the actress, she's really good. I mean, she's good. I like her as a character. I want to see more of her. The only thing I do not like, it's not even like criticism, okay? But, like, not criticism, like, I'm not, talking shit. But when, she kind of goes like, ugh, like her dramatic sighs in this show, I just find them to be really unbelievable and really kind of funny. But I think other than that, she's a pretty phenomenal character, and I'm glad she's in the show. I'm glad the actress is in the show, like, playing that Adebayo. I'm bringing this up because I don't want to get hate for saying this, but I just feel like the scene with her girlfriend should be completely cut out. I just feel like it's extremely unnecessary. Like, we kind of start off the season kind of seeing that they're not going to work out, We haven't seen anything during the season of them talking or trying or anything like that. So I honestly just assumed they went their separate ways either. So they went their separate ways. So when I seen her in the show, I was honestly just like, oh, okay, I guess we're visiting this again, Kind of want to see other things, but okay. But like I said, there's no hate. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Like I said, I feel like she's a big character, obviously. It just seemed kind of obvious that they were done. So I just honestly don't get why we're going back to that. I think instead of that, we should get Adebayo talking to Vigilante at this point after the whole Chris telling him off thing. Get him like out, getting criminals or something on the prowl or something. To get her to talk to Vigilante and kind of explain to him what Chris means to them and how the team has been there for each other, and how Chris doesn't blame Vigilante for how Chris doesn't blame Vigilante for killing his father. He probably just blames himself and thinks he's keeping everybody else safe by leaving, you know? But then she has to say, like, well, then who's gonna keep that big doofus safe if he's all alone, you know? Let's get Vigilante getting a little emotional and saying he's not gonna go, but if they do need anything, you know, he's there. We then can get a scene of, okay, my bad, guys. Kind of sound like I'm reading off the script a little much, so let me see if I could fix it a little bit. I think then from there we go to the motel or a motel where Chris is kind of just playing music. You know, we can have the Foxy Shazam intro play again if you know James Gunn wants that. Let's have him listen to music though, drinking some beer, and then let's show the characters getting together, like you know, driving to go meet Chris. Let's have Chris having flashbacks though of the team, and you know, have him kind of like smile and reminisce about the team. You know, like having like just flashbacks of little moments with them. Um, and then I think from there we show the team approaching his hotel and like going to knock on his door, and then we show Chris getting a knock on his door, but when Chris opens the door, that's when we get the Argus agents coming in and kidnapping him. Basically, how it shows in the finale, kidnapping him and taking him to the prison planet, pretty much. Okay, and then we'll have the team go in and they'll be like, "Hey, where the fuck is Chris?" You know, things like that. Wondering about where he is. Okay. So sorry, that's for the major of the episode. Now we're gonna talk about the ending, because I feel like this ending is super critical for the hype and you know for getting people interested and for what's next. Having people decide about how they feel about the whole season entirely. Um, and I know what the ending is supposed to be leading to. I heard about it, the comic run and everything like that. I just feel like it doesn't feel like that. If you were to not know anything about that, it doesn't feel like that's where it's going. Um, it feels like we just, you know, saw Peacemaker get stranded on a prison on dinosaur planet, pretty much, with nothing, like nothing to defend himself. I feel like we just watched him get executed. You know, like I just don't get how he's gonna. I just don't get how he's gonna survive. I'm not, you know, I'm not underestimating him, but come on now, you guys heard that stuff at the end. Like I said, he's on dinosaur planet. Like, I just, I just don't get it. So this is my. I feel like these little changes for this ending could save the whole finale. Kind of, you know. I mean, I agree it's too much music, but I feel like this could be critical. So I know people are saying, "Oh, you know, it doesn't need cameos. You're Marvel brained if you think it needs cameos." But I honestly think this ending is perfect for cameos. It is the most perfect ending ever. If this is where we're going to a planet of villains, let's get some more villains at the end. Come on, what were you thinking, James Gunn? I know I heard people saying um that maybe he just didn't wanna he come on, I got it in my notes right here that he didn't want to commit to any designs. He didn't want to make them permanent, and I understand that. You didn't have to show them like that. You could have showed their legs in jumpsuits while reading off a list of names. I feel like that could have gotten people super hyped just by hearing the names of future villains that you know are about to pop up. Like, am I wrong? I feel like, you know, I feel like that would have been good. You know, I feel like that would have been a good little end, and then instead of like the little clips that just weren't funny at all, I feel like at the end of this episode, I think they should have pulled an Invincible where they show like a preview of future things at the end of the season, and just show like little clips for you things to look forward, like look things to look forward to, such as like checkmate being set up, and actually show the three members walking in. Then also, it doesn't make no sense for Titties to be at Argus still when she obviously would have definitely went with Flurry and and Bordeaux. She obviously like would have went with him. I don't understand why she's. It just doesn't make sense for her either. Just to be there. Justice for titties. Hashtag justice for titties. And anyway, they should have also showed Eagly radiating his prime energy. I thought that would have been cool. And Vigilante out of his costume, you know, as Adrian. Like keeping an eye on Rick, like maybe in the parking lot, like just watching him like walking into Argus or something. He's like in his car, just watching him or something. I think we should have saw something like that, like kind of put our boy in danger, showing he's, you know, he's kind of losing it a little bit. I just think showing stuff like that would have been a better ending for the episode. Like I said, would have gotten people more hyped instead of the ending that we got. That is my rewrite for Peacemaker 2. I know I messed up a lot. I know I said for most of the video. I'm just new at this. You know, give me some slack. Give me a break. You know, this is my first one like this. Hopefully you guys did make it to the end. Hopefully you guys did like my ideas a little bit. Go ahead and let me know if they're trash. I'm cool for any feedback. Okay, now I guess it's rant time. Okay, so it's a brand new day. Rebuild, rejuice, and let's get into this little rant. So there's two YouTubers that made me make this, or that made me want to make this video. One was Penguin Zero, Moist Critical. I was watching his review on this, and he calls Rick Flag Jr. a beloved character, and it's like what? Like, I'm sorry, but I didn't come out of Suicide Squad 1 or 2 thinking, damn, like, Rick Flag Jr. is definitely one of my top 3. I don't even think I really gave him that much thought, except for the second one, obviously, because he died. But I felt more for Captain Boomerang when he died at the beginning than I did. I mean, I don't know. Then Rick Flag, I feel like maybe it's because the starfish fight takes place right after. I'm not quite sure. I just feel like calling him a beloved character is a little bit of a stretch. I feel like I liked him more in Peacemaker 2. I wish they would have did more with him in Peacemaker Season 2, but I feel like he could have obviously, you know, settled some differences between Rick Flag, but the way that it's going, maybe we'll get some funny irony, or some irony, you know, how Rick Flag says how his son is better than him and how he's doing it for his son, and he kind of loses his way for doing it for his son, and then later on he sees his son, you know, the Earth X version, and then maybe dies from him, you know. I don't know, I think it'd be some kind of cruel irony. That's really it. I kind of stopped watching his review at that point because I was like, come on now, don't join with the bandwagon haters. I feel like, you know, people are just saying things without putting their own input, like I said at the beginning of this video. But the most one that really got me wanting to do this rant was Mr. Tyrone Magnus. Like, I love his channel. I watched his channel for years at this point. He's a cool dude, but just take one look at his channel and you can tell he's one of the biggest Snyder bros ever. And I just don't get, like, you can like those movies, sure, but disliking the Superman movie in this James Gunn universe because you think the Snyder universe was that much better is wrong. I think it's just blatantly wrong. Like, I think you guys maybe are blinded by nostalgia, even though it wasn't that long ago. Like, let's think about this again. I mean, I didn't really feel attachment for the Superman's parents in this movie, but the only reason why I remember the other Superman's, Henry Cavill's parents, like in the Superman movies, is because the memes. I mean, we are gonna forget your mom's name is Martha too. I guess we're best friends. Like, what? Like, are we forgetting that? Or even, let me think, what else happens? Okay, what about Superman's dad in that movie? He tells him he should have let the school bus of children die, instead of using his powers, like. And then later on, he tells him, no, No, son. Watch me get sucked up in a tornado. Because all of these people, you know, care more about telling who you are than my life being saved. Like, I don't know, we could have done the Spider-Man 2 moment. Like, it's just so dumb. It was no point of even showing that scene. Like, come on now. Showing that scene, really? His dad really needed to sacrifice himself so that Superman didn't expose himself? For real? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, who are you excited? Like, let's look at the whole universe, okay? What are you excited for Black Adam to come back? Black Adam can't lose. The guy who's supposed to lose his fight with Superman and Shazam can't even lose. Like, let's think a little bit. Shazam 1 was good. Shazam 2, hot ass. Wonder Woman 1, okay. Wonder Woman 2, it's pretty goofy, you know. I think it was okay. Honestly, I'm not a big hater of it. I think it was honestly more goofy than anything. But I don't think I've actually watched the whole movie. I think I've only watched reaction reviews on it. So maybe I'm a little, I don't know. Maybe I'm not educated enough on the Wonder Woman 2 movie. I just don't get it, man. Like I said, people acting like the Snyder universe was so good when it really was Man of Steel. Like I said, it has major flaws. BVS, major flaws. Do not forget the great Ninja Turtle at the end of the movie, who's supposed to be Doomsday. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you just imagined him in your mind. And then it's his version of the Justice League, which is not that much better, to be honest with you. Like, why? Because it's cut up in episodes? Like, I didn't watch it like episodes. I watched it once and I'm never gonna watch it again. Or are you guys just that much fascinated over Joker talking about giving Batman a blowjob? Like, like, come on, dude. And then there's another thing where people are saying they love Robert Pattinson's Batman. You know, but as if he can't be a part of this universe. Like, I feel like, and that Superman is too weak right now. Like, he can't, he would never beat Darkseid as the way he is right now, but isn't that a good thing? Like, don't we want him to kind of need help against Darkseid, so then we get the formation of the Justice League? And don't we kind of want him to lose against Darkseid so that he can die from Doomsday later? Like, he needs to lose some fights still. I hope you guys know that, like, people are saying, like, he needs to be OP. He's not. He doesn't need to be OP right now. We're getting early Superman. And that's perfect for Matt Reeves' early Batman. These two seem like the two that would meet up and rub off each other. Whoa, okay, pause. But no, for real. Rub off each other in the Justice League. Where Batman opens up more and gets friends and stuff. This Superman would cause Matt Reeves' Batman to do that. You can tell they are perfect for early Justice League versions of themselves. I just don't get why people are saying, like, as if these characters won't mesh well. I know they're perfectly representations of their comic counterparts. Sorry. And then I feel like there was one more thing. Sorry, I had to do a little cut there, but the point I was trying to get to is I feel like James Gunn understands comic book characters a lot more than Zack Snyder does. I feel like he uses these obscure characters and he gets you to really care for him. Like, I'm excited to see more Mr. Terrific. I honestly never really liked Guy Gardner until the Superman movie. Same thing with Hot Girl. Hot Girl I kind of completely passed over. I never really liked her after how she did our boy John in Justice League, the show. But Zack Snyder, like I said, I just feel like doesn't really get the characters as much. I feel like if you were to take Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, well, just all the movies, if you were to take that Superman, which Henry Cavill's perfect, you know, he's great as Superman. Like, I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I love him as Batman. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. Even Aquaman I thought was pretty cool in those movies. Like, I liked them more. It's just, like I said, Snyder just didn't really know what to do with him. If you take this new Superman and you take Henry Cavill Superman from those movies, and he's like, really think about it for a second, honestly. Like, which one is more like Homelander, and which one is more like Superman? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Henry Cavill, like, you guys want Homelander way more than you guys want Superman. Like, because you guys don't want him to lose. You guys don't want him to be, you know, show that he loves people. You'd rather him or a farm in a courtroom while it explodes. I just don't get it, dude. I don't get all the hate and why you guys want this universe back when I feel like Ben Affleck was... I thought he said he was done playing Batman. But I don't know. I don't know. There goes my rant for this video. I just feel like people are kind of goofy when it comes to this stuff. I don't think James Gunn deserves the hate. I definitely think Peacemaker Season 2 finale was obviously a miss. I think my little changes could have made it a whole lot better, to be honest. I'm still excited to see this universe, though. I don't want them to cancel this universe just because they get scared of a few fans who don't know what they're talking about. Like, it happens all the time with the DC universe. We get reboot or restart after restart after restart. At this point, come on, like, show a little backbone and let's see this whole thing play out. Here goes my video. Hopefully you guys liked it. I'm down to discuss in the comments. My bad for calling you out, Tyrone and Moist Critical. I doubt you guys will ever see this, but if you guys do, my bad. All love you guys' channels, and this is the Lucky Goat signing off. Peace.